Hey everybody, doing a new video for you. This one I'm going to go through and show you some of the um, backpacks that I use for my survival kits, um, differences between each and why I use them, and what, the drawbacks or the benefits of the different types. I guess I'm going to start with the largest. Um, For those of you that have a military background, you'll recognize this first one. If you were a Marine, you'll definitely recognize it. Um, I was Navy, so I wasn't, but I still have one for other. I have one from my service, and let's just leave it at that. There's a reason for why I have, even though I was Navy, there's not every Navy person sails around on ships or sits behind a desk every day. Let's put it that way. Anyway, the first pack, which, like I said, some of you recognize, is this big honking thing. And this is called a Marpat. And I don't know if they're still using it now, but this was the base pack that every Marine got. And the Army has something similar, but in their own pattern. As you can see, it's got nice thick shoulder straps, nice big thick waist belt. It's got a lot of mole attachment capability to it, big covers, lots of pockets, very heavy duty nylon. It's constructed out of with nylon string, nylon thread, a lot of quick attach points. And this one I happen to have a military sleeping bag sitting there. I guess I should keep this in front of the camera. Lots of openings, things like that. A few external pockets. And as you can see, though, this thing is big. I mean, it's huge. When you fill this thing up, you're talking probably 120 pounds. You could probably make it even weight heavier if you want. But this is, 100 to 120 pounds. This would, when military, when we go on, long-term hikes and stuff, this is what's carried. It's you pretty much have to carry. You have to carry all your gear with you. Your food, your water, or water purification, your everything gets carried with you when you're in the military, because you could be gone a month or more and you don't have time to go back and get something else. So you're hauling around a lot of gear, which includes a lot of ammo for your weapon, that kind of thing. The next in the category, of course, is the civilian type model, and it's about the same size in terms of depth and the large area where you're able to carry the gear and whatnot. It's got a cap on it, extra pocket. The difference here is this is not a mil spec. The other one's a mil spec. This one does not have mole strap capability. In other words, you can't quick attach or mole attach extra extra pockets and things, like this. This one does have a couple external pockets. It's got a camelback slot, but basically overall it's very similar to the Marpat pack, and it can carry a buttload of stuff. Got its Got the padded straps and padded waist, but as I said before, it is, you fill that thing up and you're talking about, you know, 75 to 125 pounds when it's full. Um, and you know, when you get to talking about shit hit the fan, most people are not going to be able to, they're just not going to be able to use it. They're not going to be able to haul it. They're not going to be able to carry it. You know, if you're stuck away from home, there's no way in hell that you're going to be able to pick up a 120-pound pack and start hoofing it for hundreds of miles or however far you happen to be from home. It's just not going to happen. So there has to be a middle ground, obviously. Someplace that most people should be able to handle without overdoing it. Like I said, if you're going on long-term trek and you're in really good shape, then using the larger packs is, you know, can be a good thing because you can haul a lot of gear. But, you know, we're not talking about going on a 3-month trek here. We're talking about shit hit the fan, having something that you can easily move around, something you can easily carry and survive with, even if you are somewhat out of shape. For me, I have the big ones, and you notice they were both empty. There's a reason behind that. I won't fill those until the shit hits the fan. Those are like my, what I guess you could call it, an emergency escape packs. Let's say that tomorrow the shit hit the fan. One of the first things that I would do, besides pull my weapons and stuff that I need, is fill those 2 packs. I mean, stuff them full of everything I can get in, whether it's clothes, food. Basically, those 2 packs would be stuffed to the brim with primarily food and clothes, and then set aside. And what they would be for is if we had to leave this spot, you know, if we had to get away from a crowd or this place became untenable, we weren't able to hold it, then those 2 packs would get thrown in whatever vehicle, or we'd carry them or pull them on a little wagon or whatever, and they'd be like our little supply cache on top of our regular bug-out pack. So that's what they're for. But they'll only get filled once they're, you know, the day ever comes where shit hits the fan. It'll basically, like I said, it'll have extra clothes, extra food, seeds, specific tools, things like that. So that's what I have those 2 for. Because I have a cache that will go into those, and like I said, you know, that basically will take everything that I can't put in my regular kit. And, you know, seeds is one thing I mentioned. There's other things. There's medicines. There's, like I said, certain tool sets, additional duct tape or additional rope or more batteries, more flashlight, whatever. You know, anything above and beyond, anything extra. And like one of the 2 things I said was clothes, obviously. So next you've got, you know, basically what everybody considers a good size for a bug-out pack. Now I have 2 that I keep ready at all times, and the first one, many of you have already seen, which is this one. And this is my 75-mile plus kit. And this kit contains everything that I need for should I get stuck 75 miles or more away from home during a shit hit the fan event. Now, for all you new people, I'm not going to open this and go through this one again in this video, but for you new people, or any of you that have been with the group now for a while but didn't realize it, if you go to the link just above all the posts where it says search and do a search for bug out kit or shit hit the fan kit or disaster kit or kit or backpack, I've already done the video. I've already done and posted the videos a while ago on when I went from summer to winter gear, when I swapped these out. I did a video last fall for this one and the other one that I'll show you in a second. And they are available in the group right now for you to watch. Keeping in mind that those videos were made when I swapped, again, from summer to winter. I'm now in the process of swapping back from winter to summer. This one's already done, but I'm not going to tear it all apart again and do a second redundant video that just has, you know, the swap out again. Maybe I'll do that next year. But this one's already been done and ready to go. So if you want to see what this contains, just do a search and pull up the video for this one. Like I said, this is my 75 mile pack, 75 mile or more pack. It contains enough gear and survival supplies that with some rationing, I can survive solely on this pack for up to 30 days. If I'm able to find game to hunt or trap, supplemental food, I could survive 30 days without rationing or longer. So, but if I have nothing on the road that I can find to help myself survive, which is probably going to be not realistic. I'm sure I'll come across stuff. You know, but if I didn't find anything, this would give me 30 days easy. And it's got, you know, I've got my camelback mounted to the front. It's got a number of pockets. It's got pretty much everything you can think of needed to survive. If you can think of it, it's in it. The pack weighs about 50 pounds, and it has everything from food to water purification to shelter, tools, power, solar power, fire starting, trap making, God, what else is, medicine, navigation, digging holes. It's got, you'll have to watch the video to see everything that's in it, but you'll get the idea. And so this is my primary main large pack. And anytime I go someplace, anytime we go someplace, like I said, that's over 75 miles, this gets put in the vehicle. Alright. Now, obviously, I didn't want to carry this around, you know, if I'm just running to the store or if I'm, you know, going someplace under, say, 75 miles. Oh, before I get to that, though, some people are thinking 75 miles, that's not that far, you know. So why would you need all this gear for 75 miles? Well, what you need to do when you're considering distance is look at reality. And for most people, you know, I'm former military, I'm in pretty good shape, barring my injuries, of course. Of course, you've got athletes and you've got people that work out and are in pretty decent shape. But realistically, 80% of the population is not. You're just not in shape. For somebody like me or somebody that's an athlete that works out, that type of thing, during a shit hit the fan, we may be able to average anywhere from 15 to 20 miles depending on terrain, weather, you know, that type of thing. Okay? 15 to 20 miles a day on foot. The best bet is to plan for the worst, so say 15 miles a day is what we would be able to make it. Your average person that doesn't work out, that is not in good shape, that, you know, is not used to this kind of stuff, you're going to be lucky if you make it 6 to 8 miles a day carrying a pack, carrying your supplies with you. That'll increase as your body starts to acclimate after the first 3-4 days, but at least initially 6 to 8 days if you're lucky. So divide 75 miles by 6 to 8 miles, or 6 to 8 miles. I mean days. Let's say let's give you the high end and say 8. Divide 75 by 8, and hell, I'll even go one more. Let's do it to make it easy. Let's go by 10. So let's give you 10 miles. So 75 miles divided by 10, that's 7 days right there. All right, a little more actually, but you get the idea. I'm rounding. 7 days to get just 75 miles. So most people don't think of it in that term. If you're 150 miles away, that's 14 days. If you're 300 miles away, that's 28 days. And none of this is counting, this is all that you have perfect weather and perfect terrain and a straight shot and you run into no problems whatsoever. Now the first few days you should be okay, because most people are not going to be looting and panicking quite yet. But after the 4th, 5th, 6th day, somewhere around there, that's when you're going to start running into huge trouble, from people that you can't trust, to marauding groups, to exodus from the cities. That's when you're going to start hearing more gunshots and the whole 9 yards, and that's when you're going to have to start hiding and being careful how you move and where you go. And that's going to slow you down a lot. And it's going to really slow you down if you have to cross rivers. And it's something to think about when you're making your pack. If you have to cross a river to get home, you can pretty much bet any main bridges are going to be blocked. Whether if it's not by a government force, then it's going to be by gangs or marauders, that type of thing, that want to exact a toll, which basically means they're going to take everything you have to offer. And for women, it'll be worse. You've got to plan for that kind of stuff. You've got to think about that kind of stuff. And it's stuff like that. That's why I have binoculars. That's why I have night vision in here. That mini night vision that I've showed you all, it was so inexpensive but yet powerful. You have to think from a perspective of what would it take for me to survive, in a post-apocalyptic type world where everybody's after everybody. So 75 miles plus, this is my kit. And without fail, it goes with me. This one weighs about 50 pounds. And so that's what I have. Again, like I said, look it up. You can watch the full video on what's in it, how I put it together, the whole 9 yards. But as I also said, I didn't want to have to carry that around for shorter distances. So I created my 75 mile or less kit. If I'm close to 75, I usually take the big one, to be honest with you. So it's probably better if we call this like a 50 mile kit. And that's this one right here. And this one has dog hair in the cup. This one here, as you can see, it's got my knives, my little cooking utensils, tactical light, extra pouch. This one has, what's this one got in it? God, I forget. Oh, it's got some binoculars, night vision, that stuff. Okay. But even though this is only my 50 mile, I even have solar power. First aid, the whole 9 yards. This kit has enough in it that I can survive easily with some minimal rationing. a week. I could easily survive a week. I can easily survive longer if I'm able to find supplemental food to go along with it. Now, of course, this size does not have any extra clothing. It doesn't carry all the extra nice things that you find in the 30-day kit, and the 75-mile plus kit, by any means. Because this one, I wanted something portable and light. It weighs probably 20 pounds that I could take. You know, if I'm going to the store, it goes in the vehicle. It doesn't matter if it's my car, my truck, or the Goldwing motorcycle. I just throw it on it and away I go. And it's got everything I would need to get me home. That's the whole point, is get me home. It's got some extra. It's got a box of extra 9mm in it, which is my conceal carry, my everyday carry, open carry or conceal. Because when I'm going short distances, I'm not usually carrying a larger weapon. I only just a box of 9mm kept in there. The other kit, by the way, that carries 9mm and 5.7mm. Because I carry with that, I also take along my FNP90, which is a 5.7mm weapon bullpup. It's bullpup, so it's very short, small, compact. I could take an AR if I wanted to, but if I'm traveling, I'd rather have something lighter and smaller, easier to conceal, which a P90 is. The nice thing about mine is, unlike the civilian model, which is 9mm, mine's the actual 5.7mm. So I can pretty much penetrate car doors, some body armors, that type of thing. That's what the round was actually made to do. Anyway, so I keep just 9mm in here, and I keep food and emergency supplies, water purification, night vision, shelter creating, trap making, you know, stuff that will be needed to try and survive. And this one, of course, and of course the ability to charge batteries. The nice thing about this one is, like I said, I can just get up and go. I don't have to carry the big honkin' ass one. Alright, so now let me go through a couple of the different kinds of packs there are. My packs that I get, what I use for my packs, are always made up of the heavy-duty nylon. Alright, and the reason is because of durability. I want something that will last, something that's also waterproof. If you'll notice these have these lips like this. When you get a pack, you want to make sure that you've got this lip, because what it does is it covers the zipper and helps keep your pack's waterproof. Now I have another cover that goes over this whole thing like a poncho, so if I'm in a downpour, I can actually cover this to supplement the waterproof part of it, but I don't keep it on there, I keep it folded away. But that's one of the things that you want to look for in a pack, is to make sure that it's got that lip so that it covers the zipper area, because a lot of packs don't have that, especially the smaller packs. Like if you noticed on my 50-mile kit here, it does not have that lip. Alright, so I'll just wrap it in, I'll just wrap it in a garbage bag or something like that. But for the bigger packs, you want to make sure you get something that does have that lip on it. That's the first thing. Second thing, you want to make sure it's nice heavy-duty nylon, and the threading is also nylon. Alright, and you don't want to get something that's made out of cheap thread, because it'll come apart. And the reason I'm mentioning all of this is because if you're not careful and you're trying to save a buttload of money, you'll end up with something like this. Now, it looks very similar. It's not. First off, you can see the color is kind of a bit different. This is a little bit more bright. Alright? The zipper. Okay? This is a plastic zipper. And the big towel, well, here's one too. It's such lightweight metal that they come right off, they fall right apart. The zipper's big. But another tell is, this is not even actual nylon. It's plastic. It's some kind of synthetic plastic nylon. It's like a, I don't know what you would call it, but it's not nylon. It's, whatever it is, it's crap. And it's put together with more of a kind of thread than nylon. It looks like maybe a very lightweight nylon thread, but it's not as thick and as heavy as this other pack. Alright? And this one, you know, I thought, well, gee, I'll save some money and I'll get myself a pretty nice pack. You know, it's got some extra pockets in it, and it's got a lot of space in it. You know, it's even got the rain loops. It's got the, you know, dual straps. I thought, you know, that's pretty decent size. I can save myself some money. Big mistake. Waste of money. This one is not something I would put my life on. As you can see, I'm not putting my life on it. I'm not even using it, because once I got it, I realized, oh my god, this is a piece of junk. So, yeah, I saved some money for a piece of junk, basically. And the other side of that coin is, where's the other one at? And I'll explain more about what I use these for in a bit. But the other side of that is, you've got to be careful when you're buying things like any kind of day kits or fanny kits too. This is a good, solid, well-made one. But they also make them that are cheap plastic crap. And so it doesn't matter what you're buying, you've got to pay attention and you know, look at what you're actually buying, because it might look like, you know, the good stuff, when in reality it's not. You can tell the difference big time. So when you're getting yourself a pack, well, saving money is a good thing. If it's shit hit the fan, the last thing you want is to buy something like this, put your life on it, and 5 days into your trip it just starts falling apart, especially after it gets wet. And all the threads start failing, the plastic nylon crap starts ripping, seams start coming apart, and of course, as I found out the hard way, the plastic zippers don't hold. Junk. So that's the first thing, is make sure what you get. It might cost you a little bit more, but make sure you get, like for example, this one here is a Rothko, which is actually pretty good, surprisingly. Let's see. This is a Rothko, so it's a really good, solid, heavy nylon pack, and that one I can recommend. Another brand that I do recommend is the OpMod brand. And some of my stuff that I've gotten like through 511, you have to be careful what you're getting, because 511 has a lot of good stuff, but 511 also does have some of the cheap crap. And when you get something, you need to be paying attention to what you're getting. So, you know, watch for that. Finally, what I have, and the OpMod stuff, by the way, are these. And these things are just made, they're solid, good, well-made packs. And you'll notice I used one for my day kit, or for my 50-mile short-range pack. The reason these two haven't been used yet is because these are both actually collector limited edition versions. So they have a couple of extra nice features that go with them that the standard ones don't.